It's a feeling of I'm here. And that was the self-love that I found. And only then could I come into the arms of the feminine and go, I'm here now. And that's really profound. It's one of the biggest points of this video is women, especially Hazel, talk about energy. And it took me a long time to understand what this meant. And yeah, you can say it's about vibration, but what are those vibrations? Like, I want to talk about the menstrual cycle. A lot of this revolves around energy, but life force energy, which is sexual energy, right? So you talk about slavery, misogyny, lust. It all originates from the difference in the energy between us. This is what causes the friction, right? So the push and pulling of the feminine energy, like the moon does on the ocean, and the build up of charge from the masculine. This is what causes the energy, the intention from the sun. So the sun rays, they penetrate the atmosphere. The sun is the masculine, the moon is the feminine. You can see how what happens in us reverberates in nature, right? And so over the ages, this distorted energy of penetration, these clashing of swords, has caused war. And we lost the way of sacred sexuality because of the separation between man and woman, the separation between the sun and the moon. And so when a man is unaware of the sexual life force that he's holding, what it's not for sex, it's for creation, it's for your creative needs. You don't just, every time you get the urge, pump it out, for lack of a better term, And so has man forgotten how to make love to himself? Yes, because I forgot how to make love to myself. And I sought that outside me by making love with women. Because if we can't embody what is inside us, we search for it outside of us.
Because that's where, when you are cultivating that love from deep within yourself, within your source, that's when it's like your superpowers, which they talk about, like other superpowers, like whether it be psychic abilities or energetic abilities or healing abilities or whatever it is. When you come into alignment with yourself as source, then those gifts can start arriving like fully and a lot more strongly. But that's, and I suppose what I want to say around that is about, because you were talking about the distortions of sexuality. For me, what I witnessed is that rather than, because you think, okay, so let's go on this healing journey, and first of all, somebody's healing from porn, so that they, or like sex addiction or whatever, or like lusting after, the opposite sex, and then they discover their spiritual journey, and then they discover Tantra. Oh, okay, let's do these Tantra exercises and everything. But if you haven't fundamentally changed the core system within yourself, even Tantra will still be a whole set of methods and exercises that you do outside of you in order to appear like you are a more attractive person for the opposite sex. And this is why there's so many people in spiritual communities still not able to crack these codes of relationships. And so then you have these other illusions of, well, we're just on our soul path, and then we can't do this together, and we're just going off on our soul path. Well, actually, that's an absolute lie. It's an absolute lie. The truth of that is that you haven't done the work deep enough, and you weren't able to do it, and you weren't committed to love, to go deep enough together, and you weren't able to hold that space together.
Yeah,
that's the actual truth of it. So
yeah, but
sacred sexuality that we're talking about, and which is life force energy, the God within you, the energy within you, the whatever it is you want to call it, this is your alignment within you. And then this sacredness, this Tantra, this arises from within you. All of a sudden, you know your coding of your body, you know the codings of your vibration, and then you can relate.
Like, I don't like using the word Tantra. It doesn't mean anything to me. To me, Tantra is the coming back to your true nature. That's how I see it. That's what people are missing, because they believe it's about sex, but it's about coming back to nature, especially for the man. It's about coming back to your true innocence. That's what I've discovered.
Yeah.
When I went to a tantra class, we we went there to have our space held for us. So I kind of ignored the teacher because she was talking about sex, and I'm lying there, and all of a sudden I go into this deep wound of, I asked myself, why am I here? And I got this huge amount of grief, and I just started to see grass and trees and plants, and I started to cry. I cried for about 10-15 minutes, and Hazel just held me in this space, this sacred space. And my sacred sexuality, I speak for myself, was the unlocking was my grief of losing my connection to nature, my abandonment from nature. It's not up in the skies, it's not in the body of a woman, it's inside. It's our connection to everything around us, so when you clear all these elements, these distortions that sit between man and woman, that have done, we smashed that wall, and we started to pick up the pieces. Oh, this piece is yours, this piece is mine. We started putting each other back together again, like a puzzle piece. And the more puzzles we put together, it was like we started receiving the gifts of the soul. In shamanism, they call them soul gifts. You can do a soul retrieval, and you can receive parts of your soul that have been taken or sold. And so when man and woman truly come together, they become two hearts living in just one mind.